So
Yeah.
do I get it right that what we are looking at is basically more robust hyper casuals, like let's call them super casuals, that are mainly
ultra casuals.
that are mainly driven by US traffic ECPMs from revenue side perspective and aiming there, and then whatever traffic they can add on top of it. But it's still mainly US needs to be the first.
But you can see here the active user base in the States is 2 million. It's massive.
It's big, it's big, and I'm pretty sure like these games have very low CPIs of like how it looks like and what it actually does, because it's kind of like like you see, and you know what are you going to get immediately.
It's 4 a.m. and we're rolling the dice. Matei drops knowledge made of gold and ice. Felix with ads making those coins rise. Jack up designs, worlds chasing the sky. We're the 2.5 gamers, the midnight crew, talking UA adverts and game design too. Matei, Felix, Shaka bringing the insight. We're rocking those vibes till the early daylight. Matei, UA, master eyes on the prize, tracking data through the cyberspace skies. Felix stacks dollars like a wizard in disguise. Jacob's crafted realms lift us to the highs. 2.5 gamers talking smack. Slow hockey stick, got your back. Ads are beautiful, they light the way. Click it fast, don't delay.
Look at you looking like Trump from Miami. You're so orange, man. Where you been? What did you spray paint yourself down in downtown Bratislava for this?
What do you mean where I've been? You recorded the podcast.
Look how orange. Look how orange you are.
I'm not orange. I'm quite brownish.
Look good. I'm just jealous because it's like you see the two pale faces and then a little moosey snitch in the middle.
Mr. Fail. Mr. Fail. Yeah, well, welcome everybody. We're already recording, so welcome everybody. My name is Matej Lančarič.
I'm Felix Broberg.
And I'm Jakub Remjar.
And we are your hosts. So thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the release of our new album, which is called Quest for a Half Gamer. And there are two bonus tracks, which is UA Margarita, obviously, and Up Loving It. So
for those that are completely confused now, yes, 2.5 Gamers has a music album.
Exactly.
That's what we're talking about.
Why?
We'll leave it.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
A link in the show notes. It's available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music. It's everywhere basically. So okay.
It's in a Spotify near you.
Just type 2.5 Gamers and then just go and check it out.
It honestly could be the stupidest thing that brought me the most joy ever. It's so dumb.
Absolutely yes, and absolutely, I'm very proud because it's stupid, but it's amazing. People love it, and I love it as well. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Vietnam and their explosion on the mobile gaming scene. We are going to go through a bunch of rankings, and we're going to go through a bunch of the main leading Vietnamese gaming companies. We're going to look at some of their games. So basically, everyone who's listening to this will be familiar with the absolute massive Vietnamese invasion that's been taking place on mobile for probably the last 5 years, I'd say. But it's now that it's really coming into a new gear. And a lot of people actually don't know these studios, and it's starting to be, they're in the top 25 studios in terms of downloads. 4 of them are actually Vietnamese in December, so we'll start talking about that. But Matej, do you think these studios do anything on the UA side? What do you think they do?
I think so. They do something on the UA side, and but the question is if they have enough money to do so. Because
what happens if you don't have enough money, Matej? What do you do then?
Then you can actually call our sponsors PVX Partners, because today's episode is brought to you by our sponsors PVX Partners, the simplest and most effective credit line for marketing. So if you're scaling your game and your game business and you need funding, here's the deal. With PVX Partners, there is no equity dilution, so you don't really need to sell your soul. and you can repay as you get paid. So it's very flexible, fast, and fully tailored for your growth. So don't forget to visit pvxpartners.com and see how they can help you to grow your game. So thank you very much, pvxpartners.com. You can find the link in the show notes as well. And then we can talk about your growth on the podcast. That's the main thing. Nice.
Cool.
Ooh,
very smooth, I must say.
Very smooth.
All right.
Very smooth. Oh, wait. Would you say this is the Vietnamese people will be able to watch the video?
Of course, because don't you worry. If you speak a Vietnamese speaker, or if you're a Turkish speaker, Russian speaker, or South Korean, or anything, basically, we have a bunch of really good subtitles. And all you have to do is click right down here and we will be translated. But okay, you kind of threw me off there. So let's actually start because we've done too much jibber jabber now. So
I could literally see the loading bar over Felix.
Yeah.
2 days in Games Forum and I'm blonde. So it's going to take a bit of time.
What are you talking about? Okay.
All right.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So here is, I pulled in Sensor Tower. So this is a December 1st to December 31st unified downloads top publisher by absolute downloads, right? So at the top of the charts on nearly 100 million downloads, you have Azure, which we've had on the podcast. Very big, more hyper.
Is there? What? I don't think that's a Vietnamese company.
That's not a Vietnamese company. I'm setting the stage.
You're just top of the charts, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm setting the stage. So basically, at the top, you have exactly who you usually do. You have Azure, Say Games, Supersonic, Voodoo, Miniclip, Embracer, and then suddenly something really interesting happens, right? So at the 7th place, Outfit 7. We know Talking Tom, one of the biggest ad monetized companies in mobile. And they are on 51.6 million downloads in December. But right under them on the 8th place is iKame, which is 51.5 million downloads. So iKame, the studio from Hanoi, is about to overtake Outfit 7 in terms of absolute monthly downloads, right? Which is massive, right? So here's when we start actually seeing the Vietnamese companies. So you have
Felix,
iKame here.
Felix, can you just scroll all up and collapse the chart so we don't have 20 places? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Then after that, you have Supercent from South Korea. You have then Brave Stars at the 12th position, which is with 37 million downloads in December, which is Vietnamese. X Game Global, Vietnamese, 34 million. Hungry Studio, that's not Vietnamese. But anyway, keep scrolling down. Abby Games on 24th position with 21 million downloads. And then you have Abby on the 32nd position with 15 million downloads.
ABI Games.
ABI. My fault, right? So Vietnamese studios are in a very serious way starting to rack up a lot of downloads. And if you actually go a bit deeper, and basically what I filtered here by is top publisher by absolute downloads in Vietnam. Basically, there's so many gaming studios you can see here that have gotten more than 1 million downloads in 1 month. That basically you can see here that I keep scrolling down and I have to get to, there's 60 studios or 57 studios that got over 1 million downloads that are based in Vietnam in December month. It's nuts, right?
It's insane.
Yeah. And this is why I'm saying it's a Vietnamese invasion. So, yeah, I was actually in Vietnam in, November for Games Forum.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's very exciting to be there because everyone is building a game. Everyone is keen to learn. And how I would describe Hanoi, I haven't been to Ho Chi Minh, where it's the second city where they do a lot of development as well. But what I think, or speaking to developers, I think it's a mix between Helsinki and Turkish. So you have the Turkish, listen to this. So you have the Turkish attitude that you really work hard and you want to win. But also these studios, what they do is they sit down and share a lot of stuff. So what I was told is that the CEOs actually sit down and basically they actually share a lot of data on what games, which is why you saw so many screw jam games, right? Because actually they sit down and say, this really works, we should help each other. So yeah, that's what I've heard. So that's the analogy we're going to go with.
Okay.
Anything that sticks out here that you guys think is kind of cool? Jakob looks confused.
Yeah, as usual. When he doesn't talk, he looks confused or whatever. Now, I'm looking forward to go to Vietnam for this Google program that I'm in, and hopefully you will be in, Felix, as well, because it's exactly the group that you just mentioned, the CEOs and the executives in a Google App/Games program where they share and learn, obviously. So and they wanna hear about launching games. There's data pipelines, LTV projections, and all of the fun stuff, which is very close to my heart.
Yeah. So let's start. Well, basically, what I want to do now is I want to go through 6 of the main studios and basically show a couple of games, show what their portfolio looks like, and maybe you can hop in and show some of the UA creatives, right? But the main thing here is that majority of the game publishers in Vietnam is exactly that. They're publishers, right? That means they're mainly driven by ad monetization, right? So it's very little IAP, but
you mentioned lot of ads. Publishers. Is it because publishers, they publish the games of other studios, or? Oh,
this is the admon meaning, right? So publisher in the sense of actually it publish other games as well, but I'm meaning it more in the terms that they show ads, right?
Okay.
So as soon as you show an ad in ad monetization terms, you are a publisher. Anything you want me to explain there, Jakob? Because you look very grumpy.
Move on.
Can you do like a cat expression?
Meow.
Meow. Okay, that's setting the mood.
So basically, we have iKame here, right? And the interesting thing about these studios in Vietnam, I haven't had this explained to me, is like they have so many names, right? So iKame publishes under Zago. They publish under iKame Applications, Dino Global Studios, Zago Studio, Jura Global Studio. These are all the same company. And I was in iKame's office, and they just explained it like, oh yeah, we do it like that. So Tong To Din, yeah, they published that. iMagic Global Studio. This is all their studios, right?
What's the headcount?
Their headcount, I think they said, was in the hundreds. They had 2 floors, a very nice office in the middle of Hanoi. Very swanky. It was very nice. Yeah. Anyway, so this is kind of the flagship title of iKame. We've talked about this on one of the ad monetized episodes, but the crazy thing is, like, this is a racing game that's a bit more on the hyper casual side. So in its lifetime, it has earned 230K in IAPs, which is not that much, right? Because it's gotten 250 million downloads.
Jesus Christ.
So it's pretty big, and you can see here that it's still scaling. It's been out since January 2022, and it hit a peak in December. 12.8 million downloads.
So then the question is, when everybody's talking about how hyper casual games are dead, what they know that they are still scaling and apparently earning a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, this one is not like hyper casual in the sense that like you pick it up and drop it, because it's actually like, here, I can show you, right? Like this is actually the gameplay, right? So you're racing.
Yes.
And this is what it is, right?
Very simple.
Yeah, it's very simple, right? But I don't really know what they do to keep the retention so high. But Jakob, I know you love these type of games. Like, any words of wisdom, or is racing just one of those things that you can just pile up a lot of ads without annoying people?
Why is there so high of a level number?
They have a lot of levels.
Yeah, then there needs to be some kind of a level design play to this if it's like driven by that.
Yeah. Or it's just all the same levels and just 500 of them. Or 5,000. You never know.
I think it's also probably cars, right? Because here we go. Here you finish a level.
What happens afterwards?
You get money, so you can buy better cars or better equipment. And then
you start again.
Can you skip the part where it's meta?
I don't think they have it in here.
That's where you actually fire this up in the emulator.
Yeah,
So
emulator.
you can actually check what's happening.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
play.
But if there's money
Alright.
involved, there's usually some upgrading meta, which could be pretty good.
I mean, honestly, it made 200K, so there needs to be something that you can pay for.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Also here, right? This is one of their other games that's like hitting the charts right now. It's called Bus Out.
That's one we discussed when you were
Yeah,
out.
we discussed it as well, right? Yeah. Which is more of a puzzler, right? So basically, they started with a race game. So what really enabled them to grow, right, was this car game, because it's the one that like hit the charts first. And you can see here, basically, 46 million downloads in the last 30 days, which is crazy. And then Car Race is responsible for pretty much majority of it. And then also
they earned 3 million in the last 30 days, which is IIP only.
Yeah.
With 46 million downloads, I can imagine this is going to be like 10, 12. No?
So I think, or looking at this studio and like the types of downloads and what their portfolio is, this is making at least 500K a day in ads revenue on top of that, right? So it's like, it's big, like really big. You don't make it into the top 10 without making that much money on ads, right? So yeah. Yeah. So they're based in Hanoi, and we're going to kind of see a trend going on here, because the next studio that I wanted to talk about is Brave Stars. And basically, this is also a game that we covered on one of the Admon episodes. That's kind of their flagship title, but they have a bit more games that are kind of the same size. But Fruit Merge, which is a game that we talked about before, that had the sneaky little the banner placement. So
this
essentially,
is the original one. This is the original
this is the first one. This is the first. I think this is the first one.
That's what the Travel Town is or copied before to use it in the playable, and now in the real creatives. Well, not real, but video creatives.
But you can see here the downloads is crazy amounts. Averaging, what is this? This is by month, right? But let's say here by day. Yeah. 200K, 100K, 150K downloads a day. Quite big.
Yeah, okay.
And then also revenue. Small revenue, but probably...
This is not... revenue is not really...
Yeah, but
IIP.
It's interesting that the US is still the biggest country regarding the downloads.
That's the thing, and that's what we discussed before with Felix on his Admon episodes. It's almost all the time the US is either top 1 or top 2. Rarely is the case that they're driving shit ton of downloads from tier 2 or tier 3 countries. So US is always up in there somewhere.
Downloads from those also, like right after India, Mexico, Brazil and stuff. But it's important that the US is the first. And of course 60% of revenue, which there is like very small amount comes from there.
Yeah. Well, here we have the fruit merge gameplay, where essentially you drop fruits and they match, and then if it's the same fruit, it matches. It's very satisfying. I've played it quite a lot before. But yeah, this is Brave Stars, and they also have...
Can you imagine this being evolved something like sorting games in this space, that you go from fruit merging in this exact way, and then just
based merging.
Kind of, yeah.
Of course, I would say like Rolling is probably already working on it.
Yeah, exactly. Because this makes so much sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, in the Rollick labs, I'm sure someone is paying attention. That's for sure. They also have these other games, right, that are a bit more tailored to, I would say, the female audience. Let me scroll here from all time. Or
Paper Doll Diary. Okay.
Yeah, Paper Doll Diary. It's pretty much exactly what you think it is. You dress up dolls.
I didn't think about dressing up dolls. I would think if it's Paper Doll Diary, then I would say, oh well, I didn't see the dress up. Do it yourself. Of that part.
Well, essentially, you watch a lot of ads, right? There's no IAP revenue in this, but basically, what they do is, you exactly what it says, right? So.
Okay. Easy.
And then you put it in cute little locations.
Okay. Where do you think you're going?
Yeah. So it's sliced with interactive stories?
Yeah.
Ooh. And
or?
I wouldn't say with interactive stories. This
is basically like
yeah.
Like what I guess you used to do this type of play in real life when you're younger, I guess, and then now it's just on mobile.
Probably.
What
happens afterwards? Oh, wait a second! Like I wanted to see how the story ended.
How the story?
You wanted to see it? Sorry.
Actually, she writes the diary afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you scripted episode plays basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So no interactive stories.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, camera. Oh, that's a great zoom. That's a great zoom on your boom arm. What are you doing? Hello.
Stop with that zoom, man. It doesn't work.
That's perfect. No, it's great. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. The camera it should troll you.
Anyway, so that's Brave Stars, right? So they're also based in Hanoi. The interesting thing here is, right, like, so this is Brave Stars' website, right? So you see the way it's set up, right? Very nice. And then, like, there's this kind of stuff, like, I don't understand, like, there's so much stuff from the outside, like, I don't understand in Vietnam, and this is one of them. So this is Brave Stars' website. And then you have the next studio that I want to talk about, which is called iKame Studios. And it's pretty much the same website, but it's just different colors and different fonts. So it's like you scroll down, and then like, yeah, there's wait here.
Scroll up.
Yeah.
Stop. Go down. Go to the S part. Down. Down. Stop. What do you see?
Space Survival.
Oh, yeah. It's something sus is going on.
There we go.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So basically, like
about the Among Us clone in the
Okay. Okay, yeah.
But anyway, like these websites look super similar to me. So like I don't know, like if it's the Chinese way, like it's just like everything goes, or like
and it's just one template. Like why would you even care about this too much? It's fine. I mean, even if you care about it too much, it's just these guys are
no
doing
one cares,
it.
right?
No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
I'm pretty sure we are the only people looking at the websites. Like these days, like nobody cares. I mean, people care, of course.
Nobody cares as long as you don't have website integration for your game and web shop interface there. That's when they should care.
Jakub doesn't have a website. There you go.
Not yet.
Not even his own work mail. So there you go.
But I bought him his domain and made him the work mail, and he never uses it.
Yeah, of course, because it goes to spam immediately. Woof! What a surprise. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
But
anyway, look at these numbers for iKame Studios, right? Like 1 billion downloads, 3 million MAU, more than 100 staff, and it's just like no one in the West knows these studios at all.
No,
but they're absolutely massive.
Look,
yeah.
We talked. I think when this airs, the Forex episode is already live. If it's not, then we did an episode about Forex with JK and Justin, and we were talking about how people just don't care about the Asia in a sense that like they are so far ahead of a lot of other people. They don't care about Forex, and people don't care about Vietnam because they don't know and don't follow. Yeah, exactly. Don't follow the like what's happening.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's really crazy. It's exactly like the same thing with South Korea and Lucky Defense game. Like until we talked about it, nobody even knew about the game except Chinese.
The whole China, which already cloned it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, iKame Studios, 12 million downloads in the last 30 days. Their flagship game is anti-stress, relaxing toy game. I couldn't find any videos of this, and I didn't have time to download it. But basically,
where did I heard this name?
Anti-stress relaxing toy game.
Jindoblu, Mr. Jindoblu. What are you talking about? Yeah, he had this anti-stress. Yeah, he has this anti-stress stuff.
Yeah,
which was one of his top games.
Yeah, they have this motor racing game as well. 2.4 million downloads. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, don't even go there, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, man, it's impossible to find that gameplay because everything goes to probably the more random game. Or maybe I found it.
Yeah, found it.
Baby games.
No, it's not Baby Games.
Okay.
It's X Games.
No, this is not it.
X Games Studio.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just, it's, come on.
Racing. It looks exactly like Car Race by iKame, but it's with motorbikes.
Yeah.
So basically very simplistic hybrids that are...
It's not even
They're not hybrids.
It's not even hybrid.
This is ad monetized, like 100% or 95.
It's still a little bit deeper than hyper casual. So between hybrid and hyper casual.
Okay, what do you call that then? The casual?
No.
Basically,
a hybrid-ish.
More robust hyper casual. More robust
hybrid-ish. No. We need to come up with a term for this. This is how things are done in the gaming industry. You come up with the term, and then like everybody's like, this is a great term. So we need to come up with this.
Anyway, so
super casual.
Oh Jesus!
Because there's less than hyper.
Okay, we don't have to come up with it now, but we can.
Yeah.
We'll take some suggestions.
Yeah.
And then we have probably one that confuses me the most, right? This is ABI Global. I met them, really nice people. But basically, they are the ones that kind of perfected this thing that has been dubbed ultra casual. And Perfect Tidy, which we've covered on the podcast a couple of times.
They have
the game I can't say. Someone else has to say it because I can't say it, so someone else say it.
That's your nemesis. Statisdom. No, statisdom. No, statisdom, but satis as satisfaction. Satisdom. Okay.
Thank you, Orange Man. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
But yeah, these games is essentially, this is Perfect Tidy, right? But what it is, it's you do a game that you don't really know what's that point of it. It's just little unique levels where you do something, and then they don't really tell you what it is, right? So here you have to sort a toolbox, and that's level 39. And then you can watch, if you don't know what you're doing, you can watch a rewarded video for a hint, and then you see interstitials between every level. But it's like silly, stupid things like this. There's often jokes like embedded in it, but this is the gameplay, and they've taken this, and it works so well in the States for some reason. Like, yeah, because like I'll show you Perfect Tidy.
It's satisfying. It's satisfying. It's really, really satisfying. And you don't really need to think too much. Well, I mean, you need to solve these short puzzles, but just I don't want to say it again, but just think about this in a way as a real short kind of play. Yeah, just you want to have 60 to 90 second experience in the game, and as a level they have that as one part of the show, and this is what you want, and this is what people want as well, because it's very simple and very approachable as well. So I totally get that, and it works well in US. Extremely
but look at these downloads. Like, it's just the crazy thing is here when you change it to active user base, it's like nearly 2 million people in the States that play this. Like, it's like in the last 30 days.
Yeah,
but
showed retention.
So do I get it right that what we are looking at is basically more robust hyper casuals, like let's call them super casuals, that are mainly
ultra casuals.
Yeah, that are mainly driven by US traffic ECPMs from revenue side perspective and aiming there. And then whatever traffic they can add on top of it, but it's still mainly US needs to be the first.
But you can see here, the active user base in the States is 2 million. It's massive.
It's big, it's big, and I'm pretty sure like these games have very low CPIs of like how it looks like and what it actually does, because it's kind of like like you see, and you know what are you going to get immediately.
Yeah, and so they kind of expanded on this, right? Because Perfect Tidy, say the game, say it.
Satisdom.
Yeah, and then Tricky Twist Puzzle. They're kind of all the same, right? Like they're just different. They're tailored towards different like target groups, I guess. Because Tricky Twist Puzzle is more for male. Perfect Tidy, I guess, is a bit like both. But yeah, I guess they're just kind of cornering this little market that. It's just really weird to me, but it works extremely well, right?
Wood nuts and bolts and puzzle. So
yeah, they all have one. Right? Like all these studios in Vietnam have one of these wood nuts puzzles. I'm actually saving it for last. So they also have a bus escape traffic jam.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
There's a lot of what can you say in a perfect way? A lot of cross pollination happening between the Vietnamese studios.
A lot of heavy inspiration. Let's say that way. But that's the thing. I mean, I don't care. Like if you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. But the thing is, like I mean, this is almost like Anatoly from Bernie Games, right? So they take what works and they just make it a little bit differently. Or I'm pretty sure.
Very well put.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, but have you been on holiday reflecting? This is good.
But the UA trick is like a strong part of it.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because this is not only the game design play. Like these levels of downloads requires a lot of UA.
US downloads.
And US downloads, exactly.
Perfect Society is probably earning 200K a day at least this title, right? So it's
this thing won't work without the US traffic at all.
It will, man. No. It will. Because if this works and how did it work in the US, you have very low CPIs, very, very low CPIs. Imagine these very, very low CPIs in tier 3 markets. I'm thinking cents.
Yeah, I know, but think also the ECPMs in those markets, which is also
but it's not as shit as you would seem. You would think.
Again, it's the retention that makes it, right? Like if you have the users for long enough, they will at some point cross the LTV curve, right? Where basically the LTV will be higher than the CPI.
But day 7 maximum, not more. I don't think like this is working on day 30.
Yeah, like
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
After day 7 is there.
Yeah, it's like you have until day 7.
Yeah, and
we keep shit users forever, and they suddenly across the LTV.
No.
Anyway, moving on to a studio that's a bit different, also based in Hanoi, is Amanotes. And they specialize in music games, right? So they have a...
Did you say music?
What?
Oh, no. Did you say music? I know. We already talked about the music album we released. No, we released the music album.
Yeah, we can ask if they can put it on Magic Tiles. A quest for half a gamer.
My God. That would be absolutely amazing.
But this is their flagship title. This is the one that's absolutely a behemoth.
Yeah, I'm actually working with the guy sending regards. I'm doing very interesting things.
Oh, well, then tell me. You take it over from here on this one. You probably will be better than me.
You also tell them to put Quest for Half Gamer in the fucking game.
It should be easy then, Jakob.
I mean,
this should be easy.
So if you go into the whole portfolio, just to see. And by the way, I don't know what happened with Sensor Tower thing, but we don't have a graph there anymore, unfortunately. But they have this very specific. How do you call it?
You have that.
There it is. How do you?
Yeah, because you need to click on downloads.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Jesus.
So they have these very specific music rhythm games, similarly to the ones that you remember from like the days where you would like have the machines where you would be dancing on those, like pressing the with your feet, the arrows and stuff. Yeah,
man,
this can be played on emulator. This is the biggest learning I got from working on this. I cannot play this thing on emulator. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Take your wife's phone.
No. It's impossible because you can't feel the music.
No.
I saw you dancing, and you dance like.
And you need to use your finger, because if you think about the buttons that you're pressing, just the thought of thinking makes you too slow.
Yeah, it's too slow.
You need to use your fingers. This is unplayable on emulator.
PVX can't play it either.
If you play,
guys, like we're from countries that are not really known for their sense of rhythm. Like none of us are Brazilian. Like, have you ever heard like a dance champion from Bratislava? Like,
of course,
man. What are you talking about?
Of course, yeah. He's now a little bit more orange than usual.
No, man. But the thing is, like, they have very, very specific niche here for these like rhythm-based games, and they do it super well. And it's all very good difficulty based in a way that like the song increases in speed.
It's a Guitar Hero. What are you talking about? It's a Guitar Hero.
It's basically Guitar Hero version for mobile, and it's done very, very well. And they're just doing very interesting things. Can't really say more.
Well, and is it true what I've heard that they're trying to get more IAPs? Because it's purely ad revenue before, but basically I see the IAP curve going up. So they must. Is that you? Is that you?
I can't really say more.
This is when they hired Jakob.
Well, by the way, we talk about this and then we didn't mention BeatStar. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
BeatStar is the only other one, right? Like that's their real competition,
we are
right?
Vietnamese market, so
I know,
Yeah.
but yeah, we were talking about Guitar Hero, and there's like, so it's almost like a Guitar Hero. Well,
but this
guess
was
what?
much sooner than BeatStar.
Yes,
I understand, like
yes,
some of their
course,
first
of
games.
course. Yeah, of course.
Way okay.
Way okay.
So they're in a battle to the death, huh?
No, it's okay.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry.
Anyway,
There's a lot of not a lot of IIPs versus the ads in there. So
yeah. So now
Anyway.
we're coming to the last studio that I wanted to talk about, and that's OneSoft, also
Yes.
known as Falcon Games. So
Yes.
basically, don't be confused. This is Falcon Games, and OneSoft is the same. It's just one of these Vietnamese things. Don't know why. I would love to know why. If you know why, please message us in our Slack group and join us there.
like the thing is, like, who cares? We talked about this with First Fun and River Game and all the other, like, there are like so many entities. It's just
It's a
doesn't matter.
mishmash of entities. Yeah, it's just the
Doesn't
Vietnamese
matter.
way. So under Falcon Games, one of the other names is also Nam Ngo. This is also part of Falcon Games. I don't know why, but I know this is part of Falcon Games. Cake Sorts is
nice.
one of the biggest games, right? And you can see it's a nice little split on IAP and ad revenue. And
I think the good sorting game is better and bigger.
yeah, good sorting game is better, but we've already covered it, so I didn't want to do it. But we
Well,
haven't
we
talked about.
Didn't, but we will.
did we ever talk about the the scroller shooters on Abi portfolio?
No, we never
think we
talked about
didn't.
it. No,
No.
we didn't talk about it. No.
I think we should.
So many games in these studios are like genius, right? But here's Cake Sorts.
Yeah, I know this gameplay. Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's
Yeah.
sort of creative.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just saying the Galaxy Attack shooting game from Abi is past 90 million revenue lifetime.
Really?
Yes.
90 or 19?
90
Wow.
and 260 million downloads.
There you go.
Nuts, huh?
Yeah.
Easy.
I just
Saying.
imagine this in Vietnam as well, because like what's
That's the
what's the average income in Vietnam? It's nuts. Like these games must be like one of the biggest growing industries. Like it's just insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like, but I
Yeah.
really like the, I would say, approach to work. I guess like these
They
games
work hard, right?
Yeah, they work super hard.
Yeah.
Super,
Also, I wanted to
super
finish on this note because all studios in Vietnam pretty much have one of these. And basically, there's Screw Puzzle. They have a million names, right? But this was, I guess, one of the biggest trends last year where we've covered this on the podcast. Pretty much every studio now in Vietnam. That's how you know they're from Vietnam. They have like a puzzle game, a Screw Puzzle game. And it's essentially a physics-based puzzler where you're, solving
wooden
things by
nuts and
pulling out
bolts.
screws, and you watch a lot of ads. That's what you do.
Can you give me the screen for a second, just to kind
I
of
can indeed.
show the scale of the thing that we're, I guess, missing, because I guess we'll need to get to it at some point. So
What do you mean you're
this
missing?
is Abi Games portfolio,
Yeah.
and these are the numbers for the most downloaded games lifetime. Air Force airplane games, Galaxy Attack, Space Shooter, Galaxy Falcon, or in hundreds of millions of downloads, hundreds of millions of tens of
IPs.
millions of IP revenue. Just saying.
Yeah.
So the whole like wooden nuts bolts puzzle or whatever games we covered about them is just a drop in the bucket compared to what they achieved in this space shooter.
But that's kind of in the past, right? So it's
Yeah,
not
it's in
really...
the past. It's in the past, of course. But just saying.
Also, what I just really want to say to anyone who's listening to this, right, is Vietnam is absolutely a beast in mobile gaming, and there shouldn't be a shadow of a doubt, right? It's just this is probably the hottest new country for mobile games, right?
Wait a second, this is not past. Like check
I
this
know.
out.
Yeah, it's
like
quite,
all these games are making
still.
500,000 a month IP still.
Yeah.
So we'll get to it at some point. We should cover all of them in one.
We should do one of these next week, huh? We should definitely do that. Yeah.
All of them, because this is the rise of Vietnam.
The rise of Vietnam.
Yeah. The only kind of problem with Vietnam these days, which is covering the news, is that
the new licensing law.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to talk about that as well, right?
Because they're becoming a little China right there.
Yeah. So who wants to pick this up?
Wow, you can do it. You've been so quiet today.
TLDR, it's not really something that we know much about. It's just that it's been run over the news this week, and
What
it's
are you
basically.
talking about? We know everything about it.
Also, you go, Mr. Smartass.
No, we don't.
So basically, what's happening is that there needs to be something similar to Chinese ASBN license. So in order to run a game on, and I guess it's only applies to App Store for now, not the Android
No, it's
Store.
Google as well. It's both.
Google as well.
It's
Okay.
both.
It's both. So you need to get a number from government agency in order to be able to have your game on the store in Vietnam.
In Vietnam.
In Vietnam only, and then if I understand it, excludes Vietnamese companies for now.
So because they want to level the playing field for the Vietnamese companies, because they're
a little bit soft policy compared to China, where even Chinese companies need the ISBN numbers, and even Tencent has problem launching games there now.
Yeah, because the thing is, what they say in a few of these articles, like for years, unlicensed games distributed across App Store by foreign entities have created unfair competition for domestic game publishers. I mean, we just talked about the domestic game publishers, and I think they are better than half of the fucking industry at this point.
Half? Mate, they're top 10 percentile, man. Like, these guys are so
doing
good.
So it's like they're doing quite well. But this is the thing is, we're talking about Vietnam, not about Vietnamese companies outside of Vietnam. That's the difference, right? Because what we talked about now is game companies, like they are based in Vietnam, but they're targeting worldwide, not only Vietnam. The thing is, with which might be the issue here with the foreign entities versus the local developers, is that like I'm seeing, I work on few games, and we like Vietnam is top 3 or top 4 market, and in terms of the IIPs. So
really?
It's not like who cares
iOS
about
or Android or both?
Both.
There's 100 million people, right? Like, it's massive.
Exactly.
It's huge.
It's like it's not only about like, hey, who cares about this, because it's nothing. The biggest problem is like people were talking about this since November and December. Everybody's like, it's coming, but nobody gave a fuck. And now they enforced it. It's like, oh my god, this is terrible. It's like, yeah, well, like, come on, don't cry. Like, you saw the news before, and now everybody's like, this is this is unfair for us, blah blah blah. Well, look, at some point, every country can have these types of laws, and if they want to protect their own companies and the revenues and whatever else, then
no, we're getting very close to like global trade war, basically. Like, if you look at like what's lately happening in the world, like Trump's slapping tariffs. Like, we literally said tariffs is the most favorite word in dictionary for him. So yeah, we're getting there basically, where something like a soft China version of that App Store policy is going to be applied on every single country.
Yeah, look, it's like we are talking about this on in different Slack groups and LinkedIn and everything, and like people from Vietnam and Asia basically said, look, the licensing regulations it's nothing new. It's been here for many years and many publishers.
Nobody enforced
it. Just no one cared,
it's
right?
like it's and like it says different things regarding the percentage, like ownership and whatever else, that you need to actually have an entity in Vietnam and whatever else. Like, it's just people saying it's not the end of the world, and there's always a workaround. And always will be. You just need to find the way how everybody else is doing it, and
like the one in China where you
you
get
just rent
nice kitty or whatever adventure game, and suddenly it's a 4x with an update.
or you just rent an ISBN.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, exactly.
Our nice happy what is it, like Hello Kitty adventure suddenly became a 4x with the latest update.
Well, what can you do? So it's not the end of the world, and obviously it's very fresh from the oven, all of these like regulations, but still, don't cry me a river.
All right, let's end it there. This was another fantastic episode on the 2.5 Gamers podcast, where all industry leaders come to hear about what's going on in the world of mobile games.
Yes.
And see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Sending regards to Vietnam. See you in a couple of months. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.